What began as a fiery back and forth on national television has now exploded into a legal and emotional firestorm that has left Hollywood stunned, Capitol Hill rattled, and millions of Americans glued to every unfolding second. Karoline Leavitt, known for her sharp political commentary and no-holds-barred delivery, took direct aim at legendary actor Robert De Niro in a recent interview, and the consequences have spiraled into a headline-grabbing courtroom showdown. The feud ignites, "You're a script, not a voice." During a fiery televised town hall, Leavitt shocked the audience with this direct comment: Robert De Niro has spent the last decade playing angry men on screen and off. He's not a voice of the people, he's a voice reading from someone else's script. Gasps. Silence. Then a media firestorm. Hollywood elites quickly came to De Niro's defense, but the actor himself? He remained eerily silent until now. Courtroom chaos. De Niro fires back with receipts. De Niro filed a defamation and damages complaint, claiming Leavitt's words were not only personally slanderous, but also career-altering in their scope. But it wasn't the lawsuit that shocked America, it was the bombshell documents De Niro's legal team dropped during the first hearing. Inside the courtroom, his lawyers unveiled a stack of communications, private emails, and text messages between high-profile political operatives and media producers allegedly trying to bait celebrities into political traps. One message read, "If we get De Niro to respond, the headlines write themselves. She goes viral, and we get the heat." Stunned silence. Even the judge had to pause. The courtroom turned into a battlefield. Karoline's team, however, didn't flinch. They fired back, so telling the truth is now a trap? This isn't about defamation, it's about defending fragile egos. De Niro breaks down a rare moment of raw emotion. Midway through the proceedings, Robert De Niro took the stand. His voice, usually powerful and commanding, cracked as he said, "I've spent my life speaking out when it mattered. But now, I'm the target. I've never been afraid to fight, but I didn't expect the battlefield to be a courtroom." He paused, clearly holding back tears. "I've been called many things, but questioning my voice that stings." The room went silent. Even Karoline, fierce as ever, showed a moment of solemn respect. Public reaction. America takes sides. The nation split in two. Team Karoline supporters praised her for calling out hypocrisy in Hollywood. Defend De Niro fans rallied around the beloved actor, demanding respect for his legacy. The clips from the trial began circulating across social media like wildfire. Commentators called it the courtroom drama of the decade. And then Leavitt hits back with her own bombshell. As the media focused on De Niro's emotional moment, Karoline's legal team dropped a quiet but devastating countermove, a previously unreleased recording of a Hollywood producer stating, "Sometimes we just need a big name like De Niro to say something controversial. It fuels both sides. We win either way." Suddenly, the case wasn't about Karoline vs. De Niro anymore. It became about the system. The lesson: beyond fame, beyond politics. Even the most respected names can be pawns in a larger narrative. Speaking truth, whether you're a politician or a performer, comes with risk. And in a world where sound bites matter more than substance, it's easy to lose the truth in the noise. In the end, both Robert De Niro and Karoline Leavitt walked out of that courtroom changed not just as public figures, but as symbols of a much deeper fight, the war between authenticity and agenda, between truth and narrative, between the American people and those trying to control what they hear. The courtroom had barely settled from Robert De Niro's emotional testimony when Karoline Leavitt's legal team detonated the real bombshell. The leaked recording of a Hollywood insider admitting to manipulating celebrity commentary for media outrage didn't just shift the mood in the courtroom, it detonated a nuclear-level scandal that sent shockwaves through Washington, Hollywood, and every newsroom in between. Expocd, the media entertainment complex. Within hours, journalists and independent investigators began digging deeper, connecting dots no one wanted to talk about. Certain media outlets were coordinating headlines in advance, preparing to spin De Niro's courtroom appearance as a brave stand against right-wing extremism before he'd even taken the stand. Political PACs were found to have connections to the very production companies De Niro worked with, sparking questions about propaganda cloaked in celebrity activism. Whistleblowers from within the entertainment industry began stepping forward, anonymously, claiming this has been going on for years. What Karoline Leavitt had accidentally unearthed was a machine, a massive, well-oiled machine of influence, headlines, and hidden agendas. And now, the gears were grinding to a halt under the weight of public scrutiny. The judge responds and issues a stunning order. Judge Bernal, known for his no-nonsense reputation, halted the proceedings mid-hearing, slamming the gavel and declaring, "This case is no longer about two individuals. It's about whether the American public is being systematically manipulated by powerful forces hiding behind celebrity influence." He then issued an emergency court order to subpoena executives from media conglomerates, content production houses, and political consultancies named in the leaked documents. Court watchers and journalists sat frozen. One reporter whispered into her mic, "We came here expecting gossip. We're leaving with government-level revelations." Karoline Leavitt speaks a UTSIDE court, "This is bigger than me." Moments after the hearing was adjourned, Karoline stood on the courthouse steps, cameras flashing, microphone shoved in her direction. What she said next went instantly viral. "This was never just about me and Robert. It's about the American people being lied to by the people they trust to inform, entertain, and inspire them. I didn't come here to fight an actor. I came to expose a machine. Now that it's exposed, let's tear it down." Meanwhile, Robert De Niro's crisis deepens. Back inside his legal team's war room, Robert De Niro was visibly shaken. Sources close to the actor confirmed that while he believed in the causes he spoke about, he had no idea he may have been used as a political puppet. An anonymous insider leaked a quote allegedly from De Niro himself, "If I was a mouthpiece without knowing it, I want out. I never signed up to be anyone's pawn." Some are now speculating that De Niro might withdraw the lawsuit entirely, shifting his focus to clearing his name from the web of manipulation unraveling around him. America reacts, from late night to Capitol Hill. Late-night hosts fell eerily silent on the story, refusing to cover it. Cable news networks began to fracture, with some attempting to discredit Leavitt while others demanded congressional inquiries. Senators on both sides of the aisle began quietly calling for hearings into media politics collusion. One bold congressman declared, "If what's coming out of that courtroom is true, we're talking about one of the greatest public betrayals in modern history." A tipping point? As public trust in both Hollywood and traditional media hits an all-time low, Karoline Leavitt's role is transforming. She's no longer just a fiery political voice. She's being hailed or vilified as the whistleblower who cracked the veil of coordinated media influence. And the story is far from over. COMINGNAXT, will De Niro turn witness? Will Congress get involved? Can the media survive the fallout? But before we go there, the growing lesson: always question who's behind the voice in your ear. Truth isn't always loud. Sometimes it's buried beneath layers of performance. And when someone dares to speak truth in a room full of scripts, they risk everything, but they also start a revolution. As the dust began to settle from the courtroom chaos, and the media frenzy slowly died down, something rare happened in America: silence, reflection, and then awareness. Karoline Leavitt and Robert De Niro, two names never meant to share headlines, had unknowingly ignited a national conversation not about left Vs. Right, not about Hollywood Vs. Washington, but about truth Vs. Illusion. The closing moments, unity and honesty. In a surprise move, Robert De Niro and Karoline Leavitt appeared together on national television, seated across from each other not to debate, but to talk honestly. De Niro, "I've been loud for a long time. But sometimes, even when you're loud, you can be used. I see that now." Leavitt, "I've always fought to expose what's hidden. This time, I didn't just find it, I found someone else caught in it. They didn't agree on everything. They didn't need to. But their willingness to have the conversation without handlers, without scripts, without spin, was something America hadn't seen in years." The system responds. Following the revelations, Congress launched an independent investigation into media political coordination. Multiple media executives stepped down, and whistleblowers were granted federal protection. Americans from all walks of life began demanding transparency in news, in entertainment, and in government. A cultural shift was underway. THELA, truth, is stronger than influence. In a world flooded with curated narratives, true leadership is the courage to speak plainly even when it's unpopular. Fame may influence minds, but truth influences hearts. And sometimes, it takes a spark between two unlikely voices to burn down the illusions and light the way forward. Whether you're an actor on a screen, a politician at a podium, or an everyday citizen just trying to understand the world, you have the right to ask questions, to demand facts, and to seek the truth. Because in the end, the loudest voice doesn't always win. The most powerful one is the voice that dares to speak the truth when it's hardest to hear. And that is how nations awaken,